look, this is more of a loud bark, but very little bite. I think this is more of a symbolic gesture by Ballot. If you analyze what's going to happen next, former President Trump's filed an appeal. That means there's got to be a court hearing by January 17th and a ruling. Then let's assume that's adverse. Then there's going to be an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. Why is that important? Because the primary, Edward, is March 5th in Maine. And that means that former President Trump has to stay on the ballot while this is under appeal. So there's very little teeth in what she's done. And I think it's more just a symbolic gesture. And Ron DeSantis is right. Due process. And like you just said, President Trump was never even charged with a federal insurrection crime. So how is it that he can be prevented from being on a ballot for a crime he was never charged with?
A decision, as you said, made by an appointed state official, the Secretary of State, after no charges filed, after no trial, after no hearing, after no investigation, just on the basis of what she perceived happened on January 6th. All of this tells us that we are awaiting a decision of the Supreme Court of the United States. So Maine, Michigan, California, Colorado, all of those states, either Supreme Courts, the highest court in the land, or various officials are interpreting a clause in the U.S. Constitution, and each is interpreting it differently. Now, there's a principle of law called federal supremacy. And when the federal Constitution is at stake, it can't mean different things in different states. It's got to mean the same thing. State constitutions mean different things in different states. So all of this begs for final and, Chief Justice Roberts, if you're listening, quick resolution so that we all know what the law is and we all know how the 14th Amendment is going to be applied.
It's important to understand how Maine's process differs from other states. Under the United States Constitution, time, place, and manner, every state's laws around elections and the conduct of elections are slightly different. Now, under the law, I first make a determination about ballot qualification. We accepted Trump's consent form and petitions to be placed on the primary ballot. However, any registered Maine voter may challenge the qualifications of any candidate within a 5-day period. And then I am required by law, it's an authority delegated to me explicitly by the Maine legislature, to hold what's called a Section 336 challenge hearing. Both parties come, they present their evidence, they file briefs. I review only that evidence in the context of the laws, the facts presented, and the Constitution. And then I must make a determination. I'm duty bound to both hold a hearing and make a ruling. And under the law, there's a very compressed timeline. In evaluating this, I came to the conclusion that I could not, unfortunately or fortunately, wait for the United States Supreme Court to make a decision.
What is the issue or issues that the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, will decide to take up? Probably they will take up the issue of whether the constitutional ban against insurrection by a candidate would apply to the presidential candidate, because the 14th Amendment is not clear about that. They call out members of Congress and they call out electors, but they don't actually say the president is an officer to which the ban would apply. But that is